Welcome to Michigan State University, home of the Spartans, Izzone, and nearly 48,000 undergraduate students. Out of the 48,000 students, 16,000 live right here on campus. Students living on campus are provided with many different options to fulfill their appetite in either of the 13 different on-campus cafeterias. Each cafeteria caters to the appetite of a typical college student. There is an abundance of pizza, sandwiches, and pasta available throughout campus. However, for a student with the genetic disease of Familial Combined Hyperlipidemia, these different food options are limited. FCH is an autosomal recessive disease caused by the mutations in the LPL gene, which codes for the enzyme lipoprotein lipase. This results in increased levels of cholesterol and lipids, leading to coronary heart disease. FCH affects 1 in 500 people. This means that around 96 students here at MSU have the disease. From eating habits to exercise, it was found that lifestyle changes are the best form of treatment.
As a research team at MSU, we conducted a sociological and psychological experiment for a period of 30 days to better understand the living conditions of a student with FCH. We analyzed how FCH could affect both students on and off campus. Each member of the research team followed the recommended diet and exercise regimes for FCH patients. The recommended diet included decreased amounts of red meat, non-fat dairy products, and avoiding foods that are high in saturated fat and dietary cholesterol. The recommended exercise included exercise 5 times a week and being more active getting around campus. Before conducting the experiment, each team member went to Olin Health Center and had a lipid panel blood test that included HDL, LDL, triglycerides, and total cholesterol levels. Blood pressure tests were also taken on a weekly basis. All members were in the healthy range for each test prior to starting the diet.
For a 5-day period of the 30-day diet, each group member also focused on a different cafeteria on campus. An in-depth analysis was taken for one cafeteria in each of the 6 different neighborhoods. We focused on the dinner options available each day. The cafeterias we looked at included Holmes, Shaw, Snyder-Phillips, Wilson, Landon, and Brody. We analyzed the dinner options served each day to determine if an individual with familial combined hyperlipidemia would be able to eat them. This determination was based on the overall nutritional content of an option, including the amounts of saturated fat, trans fat, and dietary cholesterol. The total number of options available was divided by the total number of options served to achieve a percentage for each day of the 5-day period. These were then averaged to find a representative percentage of food available to someone with familial combined hyperlipidemia for each cafeteria. For the Holmes caf, we found that 44% of the food served for dinner was consumable. Shaw was 45%, Snyder-Phillips was 42%, Brody was 41%, Wilson had the lowest percentage with 39%, and Landon had the highest percentage with 58%. It came to our surprise that almost half of the food served for dinner in each cafeteria was consumable.
With off-campus dining options, we looked at price and convenience for a student like me living in an apartment. Food budgeting was compared before and after the diet. Due to the increased focus that was spent on purchasing fresh and healthy items, shopping time and frequency increased. Lower quantities of food were purchased during each trip to the store, and more time was spent reading nutrition labels. In addition to reading labels, the fresh foods that were purchased had to be purchased more frequently, resulting in more time spent shopping. While items were priced higher individually, healthier and more filling meals were made. It was found that I spent more money on specific items, but bought less items at a time. On average, my shopping trips resulted in $1.92 being spent per item before the diet and $2.84 per item after. However, leading a healthy lifestyle is well worth the increased 90 cents.
After the 30 days, each member went back to Olin Health Center for another lipid panel test. We found that the total cholesterol levels had decreased for each member while HDL, LDL, and triglyceride levels varied. This can be attributed to the fact that the diet was only for a 30-day period, and the researchers showed healthy levels to begin with.
In conclusion, our experiment provided us with a better understanding of the difficulties and obstacles a patient with FCH would have at a college campus, such as MSU. Whether it was on or off campus dining, each member found difficulties adjusting to the new diet. Given time, we believe that this change in lifestyle could be achievable without conflicting with everyday life. MSU provided options to accommodate this diet. With this experiment, a new awareness was created about different options available on campus to lead a healthy lifestyle.